It looked like a safe haven from the raging storm.
It's an odd kind of place. Where'd your folks get it from, Boris Karloff?
Their hosts seemed like the essence of hospitality.
You can stay here as long as you like. Wonderful.
But appearances can be very deceiving.
What's the matter? Afraid of the dark?
Boss,
Yeah?
are you scared?
Oh, of course not. What's there to be afraid of?
This house?
Oh, don't be. Son, you like toys? I'm a doll maker. I make the most wonderful toys. Dolls, puppets, soldiers, ballerinas. Nobody wants a doll that's special anymore, that's one of a kind. The weather brings out creativity. It helps me in my work.
What kind of work is that? Witchcraft? Pleasant dreams.
Dolls. You're never too old to play with dolls. Until you're dead. Dolls.
Welcome to the B Movie Club. I'm your host Kevin, and with us a little special treat, Aaron. How you doing?
I'm a little tired and my back's aching. I got the sciatica.
The sciatica. Good times. We will be discussing the 1987 horror classic.
Oh, it's a classic. This is high praise, high recommendation from Aaron.
It's Dolls, with a cast of people you might recognize. Maybe, maybe not.
They all look. Don't I recognize him from? I don't know.
This is a question. For those of you joining us for the first time, each week on the B Movie Club, we discuss certain guilty pleasures and forgotten classics from the past. Don't forget to go to our page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club, and give us the big thumbs up. You can also go to our page. You can also go to our page on YouTube, KD9575. That's my initials and my birthday. If you're trying to track me down, hit the subscribe button. It's
Message me if you want a social.
There you go. Hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the B Movie Club. So, Dolls. Do you want to give the lowdown of the basic plot of Dolls?
Basic plot: car breaks down, rain, night, house off in the distance, trouble begins.
Those are the details you get on this show, basically. So it's kind of a.
Actually, that could be Rocky Horror Picture Show,
that
couldn't
could
it?
be basically every movie we do on this show.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But it's a family, kind of a dysfunctional family. It's an evil guy and his evil
The wicked
new wife,
stepmother.
wicked stepmother, young daughter who you immediately feel bad for right out of the gate.
That
Very
little girl
sad.
was sassy. I would have slapped her.
She did. Well, she had like evil fantasies about her teddy bear coming to life and murdering her step-parents.
Yeah, she's a little troubled. She may have grown up to be that girl in Orphan.
Okay. So they find the house in the countryside. There's this batty old English couple, so I guess they're in England, I hope, who invite them in. And they notice very quickly that they're very preoccupied with dolls. Like there's dolls. It's, there's a special room just filled with dolls that they've handcrafted.
Yeah,
made.
adults with dolls, that's already a red flag.
That is definitely a warning sign. If you
And Vicky, I'm looking at you.
if you ever go to a strange house and there's dolls everywhere, just leave. Just leave.
It doesn't matter if it's raining, flash flood, hurricane, tornado. Just go.
Take your chances.
Take your chance. Roll the dice. Roll the dice, my friend.
Do not stay around with the crazy doll maker.
No.
A few minutes later, another knock on the door. Boop, boop, boop. It's this American guy who picked up a couple of English strumpets, hitchhikers, and they're all invited to spend the night because of the storm and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird because they've got this 35-year-old guy, the American driver, who's, I don't know, he's on vacation, I guess? I don't know. But he's into the dolls too. Oh, you're a child at heart, aren't you? I'm sorry.
That's one way to say it.
That's something. Because again, it's not, okay, look, I'm about as nerdy as they get. So if it was like, here's the He-Man collection or the G.I. Joe collection, maybe. We're asking a lot, but maybe.
Yeah.
But these are not those.
No. Hello, Mr. Punch. I love my Punch and Judy dolls.
Right.
No.
Crazy little porcelain dolls and with dresses. No.
Big burly men should not be playing with little baby dolls with the little rolling eyes. That's creepy. Gentlemen, creepy.
Exactly. And it's a wonder why he was suspected later in the movie of being a little off. Okay? Now everyone saw that and was like,
Exactly.
what?
Red flag.
Red flag. Now, as you might guess from the movie, it's called Dolls. So immediately we start noticing the dolls are kind of looking around and making weird facial expressions and all sorts of weird stuff. That's also a red flag, by the way.
Exactly. If the doll is looking this way and then cut away, get the hell out.
Just run for your life.
If you think it's a figure of your imagination, I don't care. Go sleep in the trunk of your car. Get the hell out.
Run for your life. So bad things start to occur. The British strumpets we discover are also, they're not nice people either.
They're bad in their hearts.
They're bad in their heart. They're not just kind of loud and obnoxious, they're also thieves.
Yes.
The blonde one wants to go out and basically rob the kindly old couple that has taken them in.
Now, I always felt bad for the other girl because she's not really bad, but she's a follower, you know.
Right. She's not as bad.
only following orders.
Right. That's what they all say.
That's the life lesson, people. Guilty.
Guilty. So the British strumpet, she's out getting stuff, and lo and behold, she's attacked by these small things. You don't really see them yet.
You hear
Hear a little crazy laughter.
scurry, scurry, scurry.
And she gets knocked off her feet, and they proceed to like bump her head against the wall a few times.
You know, you think you'd be able to just go like this.
Right, they're about 6 inches tall, okay? It's very, yet they're overpowering this woman.
I'm telling you, watch out for that shit.
So anyway, I mean, okay, the perils of having crazy dolls in the house. This is a problem. So, crazy British strumpet is like in the hallway all kind of beat up. And the little girl comes out with her teddy. No, she doesn't have her teddy. She's holding Mr. Punch, which is the doll that the crazy old doll maker gave her. So the little girl with pigtails is holding her little doll because, I don't know, she wants a glass of water. She's got to go to the bathroom, something along those lines. And she finds the British strumpet in the hall kind of beat up and bloody and runs off, but nobody believes her. They don't believe her. Her parents or her dad and the new stepmother, they're saying, hit the bricks. Get out of here or I'm going to throw a shoe at you kind of thing. So she goes and tells, which is probably inappropriate, she goes into the 35-year-old man's room and is like, hey, help me out. He goes out there and finds the blood, but not the body. Now when he goes and talks to the other adults, they think he's now a murderer. Because he's
Yeah, because he's like hanging out with a 7-year-old and they're all in their jimmy jammies.
Right, he's a prime suspect, okay? He's a loner, a drifter, all the classic telltale signs, obsessed with dolls. So anyway, so
I'm
now
sure he's got like candy in his pockets.
At least. At least it's standard operating procedure. I don't want to spoil everything. I don't want to give all the twists and turns away. Some things that happen kind of behind the scenes.
Yes.
This movie was directed by Stuart Gordon, who you might remember directed a couple of my personal favorites.
Such as?
The Reanimator and From Beyond.
I don't know From Beyond.
You know From Beyond, where he has like a machine which kind of peers into like another world, and there's crazy like fish swimming, and
There's fish swimming in the other world?
it's hard to explain.
Is he Jacques Cousteau?
Yes, the other world is SeaWorld. So, anyway, he directed these movies. And actually, this movie was filmed before From Beyond, but they had to do some edits or reshoots, so it actually wasn't released until after From Beyond. Mm-hmm. Even though it was filmed in the same setting. It's filmed in the same creepy house.
That's a real house?
It's a real house.
That is quite impressive.
That's how they do it.
I was thinking more about the crazy old witch man who appeared as the Puppet Master in those many great directly-to-video films. I was on the mailing list of this. Full Moon Entertainment. It was Doll Man and the Demonic Toys.
Yep.
It was the Puppet Master.
Yep.
This has got to be what tipped off brought forth the whole Puppet Master series.
Absolutely it did.
And I was just at Bakersfield Comic Con, and you could still buy those crazy, like the Nazi doll with the drill head.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That was good entertainment. The best that Romania could produce.
That thriving film industry.
A thriving film industry.
Transylvania.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic.
It is true. It came out before, and it did inspire the perceived success. I don't want to say success, but the perceived success of Dolls inspired them to make the Puppet Master movies. So
I love those. Have you done those yet?
I have not done them.
The first
On the
Puppet
list.
Master.
On the list.
That's the bomb diggity.
It's true. Another thing that I found kind of interesting is, the Wicked Stepmother was actually Stuart Gordon's wife in real life.
Who was Stuart
The
Gordon?
director of the movie.
Oh, she was not very attractive.
She was not.
And it was 1987, and she's still wearing a series of turbans. First of all, I'm not sure how successful turbans were in the 70s.
She's Gloria Swanson or somebody.
I mean, is it Gloria Swanson? Because, no. Unless you just came out of the shower and needed to put your hair up, you're not bebopping around the English countryside.
In your fancy turban.
In a turban.
Or you could be a Sikh. If you were a Sikh, you could still wear it.
I'm not sure she was.
She may not.
Sikh.
We don't know her religious beliefs. So we're not gonna.
She did look a little drag queeny, so
She
maybe
She's
he was a Sikh.
Dallas
I don't
Buyers
know.
Club or something.
Ay caramba.
So one scene that I thought was hilarious concerning the turban woman
Yes,
is because she's in bed and she gets attacked. Spoiler alert! By the dolls, right?
like this. Ah!
So she's in the hallway now, and she looks down, and there's dolls walking toward her. Looks the other way, there's dolls walking toward her. And what does she decide to do? She's like, I'm going to jump out the window? Was that her plan? It was
That
very
makes no sense because she had this angry look on her
Right.
face like she's gonna stomp him, and the next minute she's screaming and flying out the window. What the hell?
She was like, I'm going to jump over the dolls and just right out the window. Okay, if you can jump over them, then go the other way. You don't have to just, I'm convinced. Okay,
Or have we considered just turning around and going the other direction?
go back in your room. I don't know.
And you know what? They're dolls. How about this? Oh no, there's a doll trying to bite me.
And then you just move it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye,
you
doll.
put it on the ground. Oh, there's a doll trying to saw my foot off. Why don't I just kick it?
I love that little
Problem
tiny
solved.
saws.
I love that. Yeah, they had miniature torture instrument. I was just waiting for
Good
like
times.
a little doll maitre d' with a corkscrew to start screwing your head
That
in.
was next. Yeah.
Everything, and they all
Dolls,
had
too.
little doll fangs.
Yeah. Very upsetting.
Uh-huh.
Another thing that I found kind of bizarre, spoiler alert, is when the husband discovers his wife is like dead. What is his reaction? It was kind of a weird reaction. It was like, oh my God, my wife.
I love him.
And it wasn't even like, I'm terrified that there's a killer in the house. It was like, I'm angry. I'm going to go fight somebody. I can't wait to fight, which is kind of I don't think that'd be your first reaction.
Yeah, I have an
somebody
old
out.
rotten corpse laying on top
Right.
of me. Let's go fight.
I'm going to fight
them.
somebody.
Yeah.
It was very weird. That was just my opinion. It just seemed strange.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Ding Dong Daddy-O.
So, like I said, after they directed From Beyond and Reanimator, these are both kind of violent, gory films.
This is one for the kids, really.
This is one for the kids. They actually wanted them to kind of push the gore a little more, and they actually shot some like even more violent scenes, but they felt it didn't go with the overall tone of the film.
It is really surprisingly. I mean, it is not your traditional Kevin slasher porn. It's really just a little blood.
Not the traditional slasher porn that I'm into. Not the traditional.
There's an occasional eyeball
Yes,
lapping
there was.
on the side, but that's about it.
That's
I
all.
mean, I call it safe for the kids. I mean, did you watch it with your kids?
It's practically a holiday movie.
It's holiday.
Okay.
It's it harkens me back to the days of Dickens. When families would sit
Exactly.
around and tell ghost stories.
Pretty standard, right?
Yes, absolutely. Holiday cheer.
We were laughing about it because some of the cast members, like we said, you'd find them vaguely recognizable. The British strumpet who gets bashed into the wall was played by, her name is Bunty Bailey. Don't ask me how I know this. But you might remember her from that Aha video. Right. That was her.
Cut me off.
My bad. I was just gonna let you go. That was her. She was the one from the Take On Me video. Okay, because she was dating the lead
She was
singer.
dated, and her only other claim to fame was to be in a documentary about Aha.
Exactly. So, what are you going to do? And the guy who plays the nice, older, not older, but he's 35, gentleman,
Yeah.
the American guy, his name is Stephen Lee, and you've seen him in 1,000 things.
You cannot name a movie or a TV show from like the 70s till the minute he dropped dead, this year apparently, that he wasn't in.
Right.
Seinfeld. I'm pretty sure he was on the Rockford Files.
I'm sure he was.
ER. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, if there was a show, whether big or small, one episode.
One episode. That's all you need.
He is the hardest working man in shows.
Yes.
That's why he died.
He's like Ted
Because they've
McGinley.
overdone it. Ted McGinley.
They sprinkle a little in there. Good times. That's all you need.
I think he was in Good Times.
He might have been.
I don't buy.
You remember him, don't you? They're actually going to make a sequel.
Oh,
to
wait
this
a minute.
movie.
You didn't
What?
talk about the dark-haired punk rocker girl.
I don't remember her. Who was she?
She was in 6 episodes of EastEnders.
Oh, my bad.
For my British peeps, I love the EastEnders.
If you like the EastEnders, then you might remember her. Or not.
I don't really remember her, but I did love EastEnders.
Yeah. She kills some of the dolls with, like, her belt. She gives them the belt
Her heart
treatment.
wasn't into it.
Very sad. What are you going to do?
She was a poser. She wasn't like full. Actually, her friend was really more full Madonna. They weren't even punkers.
Oh, that's true. Good times.
You know, I mean, that one chick had too much pastel. It was late 80s.
Yeah, good times.
No.
She should have had Liberty Spikes. or
Liberty
something. Yeah.
Spike.
Pretty okay. Like I was saying, they were going to make a sequel to this movie where it takes place in Boston and the kindly 35-year-old American and the little
I
girl-
love it. If the punch doll shows up,
Punch doll shows up, helps out. They decided not to do it. What are you going to do? A lost classic. So
it's not too late.
It's not
if they're
too late.
remaking Hills of Eyes, it's not too late.
I'm with you.
I have to tell you, I mean, with the special effects they did, this was a solid movie.
It's solid.
It is a solid movie. Frankly, dolls are just creepy to begin
They are.
with.
I think we can all agree on that.
They're right up there with clowns.
Yeah. Or dolls of clowns.
And frankly, even some of the stuff where literally they just cut away and they're all in different positions,
That's always creepy.
that's creepy. And then they did the classic stop motion animation, which I just love. Crazy dolls with their crazy laugh, just jumping everywhere on top of you. It's out of control. Love it.
Good
Love
stuff. Good stuff. It actually has a 63% rotten. Actually, it's not rotten. It's kind of on the edge. It's barely fresh.
it.
on
Whoa,
Rotten
whoa,
Tomatoes.
whoa.
Yes.
I just recently, last night, reviewed our review of The Hills of Eyes that got a 64 fresh. How is this possible?
It's shocking. And we have to say,
Because that movie is a piece of crap.
compared to this classic,
This
of
is
the modern
a
cinema,
good movie.
we had a devil of a time trying to track this thing down. I'd seen it years and years ago. Not on Netflix, not on Amazon Instant, wasn't on Hulu. We had to go to YouTube. And some random person
Exactly.
uploaded the
God
entire
bless
movie.
that person. We need to send them a link to our review.
I'm with you. We would have been in trouble otherwise. So.
And this is, what's wrong with Hollywood? I thought they were preserving all these great classic films. How is this one slipping through the cracks?
Very sad. It's very sad. You can get it on VHS.
Who do
for
I
like $400.
contact? Gene Shalit, Leonard Maltin.
Gotta contact.
Who do I
Michelle.
talk to about this?
Talk to him.
I've called
Let
him
him
now
know.
in New York. I don't know.
Roger Ebert gave this a poor review as well, I'm sad to say. He said it was just kind of like
He
an
must have
interesting idea or concept that didn't really congeal into anything. I don't know if you used the word congeal. I'm paraphrasing.
I've lost all respect.
So.
I used to be very with Roger Ebert before his death, but no.
No more?
Obviously, he was having a bad day. He phoned in that review because that's a house of lies.
It must be. It must be. It's very sad. So next week we're going to be moving away from the horror genre to something a little bit more for the whole family. We're going to do the comedy classic Kingpin.
That's all right.
Oh, you're out of your mind. It's not for the family, so don't watch it with the whole family. Hope my daughters don't mind. We've been violating their doll over and over. It's very sad. Anywho, so we're doing Kingpin, starring Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid. It's an all-star cast. Bill Murray. It is streaming instantly on Netflix. Don't forget to go to our page on YouTube. Go to our page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club. Go to follow me on Twitter at the B Movie Club. Send any comments, questions, favorite scenes, favorite quotes, anything else you want to get off your chest. And don't forget to spread the word. As you know, we end every episode with a totally out of context quote. And here it is.
The dolls, the dolls, the killer dolls!
Ah, you're awake. Good.
Steady, steady. Now, you've had an awful crack on the noggin.
That's the dolls. The dolls.
The killer dolls! Where's my daddy?
Well, I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, my dear.
But your daddy has gone on without you.
Now, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Adults seldom do. Your father left a note. Allow me, my dear. Dear Judy, forgive me. I never was a good father, I know. Rosemary and I are leaving you here with the hope that you will have a much happier life living with your mother without us. We are moving to another country and changing our names. We are leaving you enough money for a plane ticket back to Boston. Love, your father.
Be back ever?
I'm afraid not, my dear. There. Some people just aren't cut out to be daddies. He thought that the best, the grandest thing he could do for you was to allow you to grow up in a household of love with your mummy.
What about the two girls, my hitchhikers?
Ah, yes. P.S. I'm taking the two hitchhikers with me.
So there you
Solid acting, Hollywood.
get her at least a Golden Globe, if nothing else. Okay?
I'll settle for that.
Settle for that. So thank you for joining us. Next week we'll be doing Kingpin. I'd like to thank Aaron. Thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you, my brother.
Any last words? Famous last words?
I should probably be in more of these. That's my famous
I
last
agree.
words. And keep those cards and letters coming.
Keep those cards. We may talk about it on the show. I say that and I never do because I don't get any. So maybe at some point, dare to dream.
Share the goodness that is the B Movie
That's
Club.
right. The
Forward
majesty.
this over and over to your friends until they unfriend you.
That's what I do. Hey. So again, thank you for joining us and be well.
Live long and prosper.